We ready? 3 minutes late, sorry. And now call the August 1st, 2017 regular council meeting to order. Would council members please denote your presence by depressing your yes switch?
All council members are present.
Council meetings are televised on channel 192. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The chair would entertain a motion to approve by minute action the minutes of the July 18th, 2017 regular council meeting as published in the Casper Star Tribune on July 25th, 2017.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilman Morgan, seconded by Councilman Johnson. Corrections? Please cast your vote. And please record the vote.
All members voting aye, motion passes.
The chair would entertain a motion to approve by minute action the August 1st, 2017 bills and claims as audited by City Manager Napier.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Vice Mayor Pacheco, seconded by Councilman Walsh. Abstentions? Please cast your vote.
Jeez.
Please record the vote.
All members voting aye, motion passes.
Shaking it up. I now declare the public hearing open for the consideration of the vacation of a portion of the alley south of West Yellowstone Highway between David Street and Ash Street. Mr. City Attorney, do you have any exhibits?
I do, Your Honor. I have two exhibits for this matter. Exhibit number 1 being correspondence from Liz Becker to J. Carter Napier, City Manager, dated July 24th, 2017. And exhibit number 2, that document being the affidavit of publication as published in the Casper Star Tribune, dated July 19th, 2017.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, report.
Madam Mayor, thank you. The crux of my report would indicate that you have a vacation request this evening, requested by the property owners or adjacent property developers, I should say, that are looking for an opportunity to construct over the alley in question. The alley in question is currently being constructed upon and would require that in order for that to be completed and moved forward with, this vacation would need to occur and allow for that land to be built upon. My understanding is that the easements have been retained and taken care of, and the letters for support have been gathered, and all things appear to be in order with regard to this request.
Thank you. Council will now listen to public comment. Public hearing comments are limited to 5 minutes and no duplication of speakers will be allowed. At this time, I'd ask those individuals who wish to speak in favor of the issues involving the vacation, please approach the lectern. Anyone who wishes to speak in favor? At this time, I'd ask those individuals who wish to speak in opposition, please approach the lectern. Anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? There being no one to speak for or against the issues involving the vacation, I now declare the public hearing closed. Please read the ordinance by title only.
An ordinance approving the vacation of a portion of an alley public right-of-way south of West Yellowstone Highway between South David Street and South Ash Street.
The chair would entertain a motion to approve on first reading the ordinance just read.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Hopkins, seconded by Councilman Powell. Discussion. Councilman Powell.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is obviously a critical juncture in the development of our downtown to get this accomplished. And I would like to particularly thank Aaron Clokey for all of his work in making this happen, because it has not been an easy process. And it's been complex, and it's required a great deal of determination and persistence and vision. So thank you, Aaron, for all of your work. And I know I speak on behalf of all of the downtown property owners, or most of the downtown property owners, who are really very excited to see this thing move forward.
Further discussion or amendments? Please cast your vote. And please record the vote.
All members voting aye, motion passes.
I feel like an auctioneer. Are you still good, Krista? Please read the consent resolutions by title only.
Item 8A1, a resolution authorizing amendment number 2 to extend the contract with Cigna Health and Life Insurance Company for the provision of health coverage administrative services. Item 8A2, a resolution authorizing a contract with Delta Dental Plan of Wyoming doing business as Delta Dental of Wyoming for the provision of dental coverage administrative services. Item 8A3, a resolution authorizing a professional services agreement for impound wrecker and towing services.
Thank you. The chair would entertain a motion to adopt the consent resolution items just read.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilman Morgan, seconded by Councilman Johnson. Abstentions or nay votes? Please cast your vote. And please record the vote.
All members voting aye, motion passes.
Please read the consent minute action titles.
Item 9A1, the appointment of Dandy Patty to the Casper Historic Preservation Commission. Item 9A2, authorizing the purchase of one new compact all-wheel drive sport utility vehicle from Fremont Motor Company for use by the Community Service Officer section of the Casper Police Department. Item 9A3, authorizing the purchase of ballistic vests and helmets from Warrior Kits Safety and Survival Gear.
The chair would entertain a motion to approve the consent minute action agenda items just read.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilman Walsh, seconded by Councilman Johnson. Abstentions or nay votes? Please cast your vote. One more time, Bob. And please record the vote.
All members voting aye, motion passes.
Okay, if we keep at this, I'm setting a record. I'm just telling you, people, I'm competitive. Let's set a record.
Do this faster if you put the buttons up on top of the desk. Yes here and no here.
There you go. Now's the time we'd invite anyone in the audience who wishes to speak to council to come on forward. As stated on the first page, we'd ask that you give us your name and address. We won't respond to personnel issues. Those are referred to the city manager. We won't always answer questions, and we'd like you to try to keep it to 5 minutes. Anybody want to talk to council tonight? Good evening, ladies.
My name is Amanda Harner. I live at 1877 Kit Carson.
I'm Pam Brown. I live at 330 South County Place.
We come forward to you guys this evening in regards to our concern with the Casper Police Department not following through with their restraining orders and their protection and stalking orders. January of last year, this year, we had a judge signed a felony stalking order. We have made multiple reports to our police department regarding the order being violated in fear of our family's protection, our kids' protection, my in-laws' protection. The police just say, keep documenting it. We can't do anything. We've had plenty of evidence, plenty of paper trail for the last 2 years, and that is the reason why the judge signed our order for us. My concern is that our police department is not doing their job with keeping up on these orders that they are supposed to be keeping up on to keep our community, our families safe. And that's where I'm at with this concern is, what is the purpose of a order if it's not being obeyed by our police department? How are we supposed to keep our families safe when we have plenty of record and plenty of evidence that it's being violated and nothing has been done?
Okay.
Yeah, she moved a block and a half away from me. I called the police and they said there's nothing they can do. She was sitting on her porch today as I went by. I've had my brake lines cut, people pounding on our house in the middle of the night. My 14-year-old granddaughter is terrified to be home alone. And it's gotten out of hand, and they won't give us any relief. We thought finally we get the stalking order, we're going to get some protection, but they don't do anything about it. So
Okay.
what can we do?
Have you ladies had an opportunity to visit with the city manager?
I have talked to Tammy, I believe is her name. I have some great group of ladies, Huckabee, Tamara, who's really led me to where I need to know where to go and what steps to make with this. And Nothing has been done. City manager, I have not spoken to yet, but if that's another step that we need to take, then I'm more than willing to make that step, because I have 4 children who need to be kept safe.
Sure. Councilman Walsh?
I think probably too, I'm sorry. I think probably to make this work real smooth, if you were to get with the city manager and he could make arrangements, that way you don't have to rehash some of the details that you've got going on. And I know that there's no answers right here, so.
Right.
But the city manager, if you give him the opportunity to take a shot at it, and then if there's not, come back to us.
And if you would like Councilman Huckabee or myself to be with you guys during the meeting, we'd be happy to be there. So if you can give him your contact information, we'll get something set up. And then it sounds like you're already in contact, so let us know if you want one of us there.
More from just this. My little boy was the one that was taken from the carnival last year. So it stems more from just this one stalking order that we have to the police department not following through and doing their job the way they are supposed to be doing, especially with their circumstances of my son and the family that's gone on with that case. So I'm not presenting that to the council tonight, but there's so much more that stems from CPD not doing their job correctly.
Okay, we are certainly eager to help, and this gentleman will get that ball rolling. Councilman Huckabee.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you're here.
Took a lot.
It's okay. Sometimes it does.
We need some relief. We can't keep living our lives like this.
I understand. And sometimes it takes time for that courage, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, Councilman Laird, did you have a question?
Yeah, I had a thought. Like you say that the brakes have been cut and your people are on your roof, but do you know who is doing it? I mean, do you see them doing it?
We have not caught them yet.
See, that's probably part of the police's problem. If you say somebody cut my wires or did something,
I had no brakes coming home from the 4th.
well, no, and that's horrible. But the police have to know who did it before they can go out and arrest them.
Yeah, but we have a stalking order, and she moves less than a block and a half away from my house.
Well, just help me out here. So I understand you have a stalking order. What you have to do is prove that person did these acts. That's what the court's going to require.
Right. Officer Crow had taken a report, and I do have that case number of her threatening to burn down our house and cut our brake lines with our children in it. So I did have that evidence for them on text message.
From her?
Yes, from her and
You
her
gave
phone
that to
number.
the police?
Yeah, and Crow contacted her, told her not to contact anymore, and then her brake lines are.
What do the police tell you when you call them?
Make a paper trail.
Yeah,
We
make a
can't do
report,
anything
and that's
about
all
it.
we'll do.
And you do have the text showing
Yeah.
it came from her
Yep,
number?
I emailed it all to Officer Crow. He has it all.
Police chief's right back there. Maybe he'll give you some more advice.
Yeah.
So if you ladies would jot down your information, I think our city manager here will be an excellent bridge for us to assist you. So do you have paper and pen for them? Or okay.
Get a picture of them doing it. Get them on tape. Get some hard evidence.
Never being that close to our house.
But you gotta see who's doing this. You gotta have proof that somebody came over and did this.
All right. Thank you, ladies. Anyone else in the audience who wishes to speak to council? Okay, I'm at 17 minutes. You guys go really fast. We're going around the table. You get 10 seconds. Bob, go for it. Councilman Hopkins. Yes, Councilman Walsh. No. Just kidding.
I can go quick. I would like a work session to discuss the court ruling on MIPs and any actions we may or may not need to take on that.
That is already upcoming. Gotcha. Councilman Powell.
Nothing else, Your Honor.
Councilman Huckabee.
I have a few things. From attending the Purple Heart Truck Run, I do hope that those Purple Heart parking signs made their way out somewhere, or intentions for those to be. I also attended.
Ms. Becker is giving us a nod, so it sounds like it was taken care of. Okay.
That works for me. I also attended the luncheon that the Chamber of Commerce put on for City Council and the County Commissioners, and basically learned about their plans with the upcoming 1 cent funding, and just kind of talked with board members. It was a good meeting. I am in the process of attending the Natrona County Restorative Justice Pilot Program facilitator training. And I had some good conversations earlier today with several people who work in self-help, victim services, CAP, et cetera. Hoping maybe we can move forward with a restorative justice center that kind of combines all of those services, given that during our strategic planning that we had several months ago, that was part of our discussion and wanting to see that move forward. On that topic, I'm supposed to be at that training right now, but I felt it important to be here instead tonight. I've had a lot of victims contact me over the last couple of days with some things that have been going on. When things like this happen, and things in social media, which can be both a blessing and a curse, it triggers a lot of people and reminds them of their own experiences in their own cases. One of the comments that was brought to my attention says, "Bear in mind, we are a town that glorifies sexual victimization. How many of these women feel undesirable or left out if they don't have a rape story of their own? Accusations are a tool for a lot of females, and a lot is to be gained from a cash settlement from a case such as this." This is an ignorant comment. First of all, there are no cash settlements in a criminal case. That is a civil case. Secondly, being part of the rape club is not something to be proud of. Those are things that affect you for your entire life. It affects me for my entire life. And that's why I ran for this seat, is to be the voice for those people. Even though it's traumatizing to me sometimes to be in this spot for those people. But I do it because it's important, and I feel like we have made some really good gains over the last several of months. I know we have a long way to go. But I hope that all victims can know that you are not alone, and there is a group of us that you can reach out to, and we will hold space for you with light and love, and that there are always going to be people that are going to criticize you and claim that you are a liar, but know that our voices will be louder. That's it.
Councilman Laird.
I know a lot of fathers that would like to take, if something should happen to their daughter, they would like to take justice into their own hands. But I always advise people that people in this country are innocent until proven guilty. Now, but I agree with you, Amanda, on most everything you've said. But I looked up what a balanced budget meant. And it says a balanced budget, particularly that of a government, refers to a budget in which revenues are equal to expenditures. And if you spend your savings account, it's called a budget deficit spending. So I had a couple CPAs ask me, because we did have an issue about who believed we had a balanced budget and who didn't. And I got a lecture the other night from a very well-known CPA. So he told me to look at this, and I did. But since I'm not an expert, but man, Mr. Hopkins, there is something to what you said, which is if you use a cycle, but the law requires us to budget it each year. But if you have a budget cycle, and Casper, Wyoming has cycles where you have the boom and the bust. So if you have a cyclically balanced budget, is a budget that is not necessarily balanced year to year, but is balanced over the economic cycle, running a surplus in boom years and running a deficit in lean years, with these offsetting over time. That's called Keynesian economics. I decided I had to go back to my old economics books to try to understand this. But we have to balance the budget technically.
yearly. And I know that the city manager, he's got the weights, he's gonna get that baby balanced soon. So that's my big deal. Then my last deal is, there's a gentleman out there who needs some city housing, and he has PTSD, and he has a letter from his doctor, he says, I haven't seen any of it yet, but he needs that cat to be calmed down. And I'm hoping somehow we can see our way to allow people who have all of the documentation, which he assures me he has, and I haven't met him, he's called a couple of people, and I could hear the pain in his voice, I really could. I couldn't stand the thought of not having my little dog with me, or I couldn't move to the place if I couldn't take my little dog with me. So I'm kind of on his side, and I understand the pros and the cons and other people living in there and all of that. But I guess we'll take it up at another time.
Well, I think we definitely need to fill the city manager in, because it sounds like this is going on at Life Steps campus, but it sounds like it might be a city policy and not the operator's policy of that building. So we may just need more information to understand why and how we can maybe help this individual.
Yeah, and at some point in time, and I'm not going to ask for any more resolutions till I run it by council members, but I just want to be kind to our citizens. I really do. I want a city council who's kind to the citizens. I believe everybody else does too. Yes, there are times when we have to take stands against wrongdoers and criminals, but we have to be kind to our citizens. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councilman Johnson.
Nothing.
Councilman Morgan.
Thank you, Mayor. I had the coffee with your councilman last Saturday. It was a pretty good turnout. There's some individuals that were concerned about the MIP case, which we're going to be addressing. Then they also were wondering about how the progress with parking, particularly for the Wonder Bar, if that already took place, and we're addressing that next Tuesday, I believe. Filled some of those questions. I also had members or constituents, I guess, of Ward 1 that also wanted to see, I guess, kind of an equal opportunity commitment by our body, showing that the city of Casper, I guess, supports the LGBTQ community. And I told them my position, I don't want to see a resolution passed that shows a different group that separates them from everybody else. I see us all as the same human beings. You know, I don't want to be known as the only minority on this board. I don't see myself as that. And I don't think that's the right direction. So if it's something as simple as of us saying, hey, we have your back, support you, we want you to be in our community, we want you to move to this community, or anything like that, that's something I'd be more than happy than talking to the rest of the council members about and seeing if we can come to a resolution there. I see the city of Cheyenne, city of Jackson is currently working on it. I think Laramie has done it too. It's a little bit different than what I envision, but it's a step in the right direction. Apart from that, it'd still be great to get some, I guess, our voice out there, council's voice, council leadership to take good initiative of getting our story of what we're accomplishing here, what we're doing behind the scenes, and just giving a better source as opposed to the newspaper. There was one individual there that said, oh, the city's selling all their equipment, city council wants the streets department to go away, parks and all that fun stuff. So it's just frustrating. It's an ongoing issue. So it'd be great if we had our own platform and narrative that we're able to drive and direct people towards.
And that is on an upcoming agenda in a couple weeks, I believe? Or, I know I saw it on the agenda. It's coming up.
Madam Mayor, it is. It probably wouldn't be until September when we have some agenda space, if you will. But yes, that's the plan.
Okay. And I don't know if everybody realizes, but we're on the radio every other Friday on K2 Radio at 7:10ish in the morning. So there are little things that we're trying to do to keep people apprised of what we're doing, but that will be expanded and the plan will come forward here shortly.
Okay. I had no idea.
Who's,
I didn't know that either.
who's on the radio? Who's doing it? Oh, the mayor, of course.
I sucker him into it once in a while too, and then I've tortured some city staff, but yes, we are staying as active as possible with the opportunities we have, but there will be more coming forward. And I just want to say I Facebook Lived the other night, just so you know.
I saw that. And we're lucky to have a mayor who is as eloquent and knowledgeable as you are, so thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay. Councilman Pacheco, Vice Mayor Pacheco,
Nothing.
Future Mayor Pacheco.
Nothing. Thank you, though.
Okay. Okay, the next meetings of the City Council will be a work session to be held at 4:30 p.m. Tuesday, August 8th, 2017 in the Council's meeting room, and a regular council meeting to be held at 6 p.m. August 15th, 2017 in the Council chambers. The Chair would entertain a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss personnel, and we will only reconvene out here in order to adjourn this regular session.
So move.
Moved by Councilman Laird, seconded by Councilman Walsh. Moved by Councilman Johnson, seconded by Councilman Laird.
This is my first second. I wanted to finally get one in.
You okay with that?
Did I have it?
It's all yours. Okay, you're casting your vote to move into executive session. Please catch your vote. Please record the vote. Sorry.
All members voting aye, motion passes.
Council will now proceed to the council meeting room. When executive session is completed, we will return to the council chambers to adjourn.